victory in the presidential election could come down to a few key swing states. With us now, the governors of two of those swing states. Ohio Governor John Kasich joins us from Columbus, Ohio. And Pennsylvania Governor Tom Corbett joins us from Harrisburg, PA. And we have a governor in studio as our guest host, so it's like governor's own parade. Let me start with you, my home state, Governor Kasich, and just to get the very latest polling, or at least your feel for what happens in Ohio. And I will tell you, Governor, that Hamilton County, where I'm from, used to be reliably red. I'm hearing anecdotal evidence it's gotten much more purple recently. Cleveland's a write-off for a lot of Republicans in northeastern Ohio, but it used to be Cincinnati was reliably Republican. Is that different now?
I didn't know you were a political analyst. I'm not sure I agree with your analysis here. No,
I'm saying anecdotally what people told me. I didn't analyze anything. Don't get combative. I'm trying to help you. What's that?
Here's the situation is, look, after that first debate, things have changed in Ohio. And the reason they changed is real simple. People knew Romney was smart. They knew, he knew how to create jobs. They just didn't know if he figured out what their problems are or if he understood them. And he punctured that in that first debate, and I believe he was able to connect with people to say, look, I not only know how to do this, but I get you. And I think that was critical. And I think Romney right now, if I had to bet money on it, is surging ahead. I don't think it's by a lot, but I think he is ahead. The race is fluid, and Ohio remains a swing state because we're basically a microcosm of the whole country. Yeah. But right now, the enthusiasm is behind Romney.
You think he's ahead?
Not over yet.
You think he's ahead in Ohio?
I think he is right now, but it's not by a lot. I think he is ahead, and but we still have a ways to go. We have a debate on Monday. A lot of things happen. But right now, I think Romney has moved ahead, and I've been saying all along that I thought Obama was ahead. So I've seen a perceptible change.
Joe, let me, if I may, one reason I wanted to have these two guys on here is that, unlike Wall Street, Main Street's been very flat. I mean, you don't see any increase in the economy. Median family income's down $2,500 in the Obama recovery. But these two guys have states where the economy is growing. And Tom Corbett, I would like to ask you, a big reason for you is energy and what's happened in Pennsylvania. You want to tell us a little bit about that and the role of the federal government versus the state?
Well, we're doing very well with the development of the Marcellus Shale and the Utica natural gas here in Pennsylvania. In fact, it's resulted in almost 30,000 jobs just in the core industry. In our last 5-6 years, we've drilled close to 6,000 wells, of which 2,800 are already currently producing. So it is growing jobs. It's going to grow future jobs. The Royal Dutch Shell has decided to site, we believe they will site a ethylene cracker facility in western Pennsylvania that's going to provide jobs in the short term and also in the long term, because the petrochemical industry, we think, is going to grow around it. And it's going to grow over into West Virginia and over to my colleague John Kasich over in Ohio.
Well,
he has the same energy.
The president, Tom, talks about how under his administration all this increase in drilling. The fact, has the federal government been your partner in this, or have you had to overcome them?
Well, we've had to do our own environmental enforcement. We've had difficulty with the EPA in a number of different areas when it comes to business. Obviously, when it comes to coal, they've been very difficult with us. With the natural gas, we're much more on top of it than they are. They want to double check, triple check from 7 different agencies what we're doing. They're not exactly helping the natural gas development. As compared to what the president is saying, his agencies are doing the opposite.
John, if I may, John, in your state, you've got a little bit of this shale play, but your economy, which had really lost, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of jobs, you had an $8 billion deficit. Y'all have got that turned around, and I'd like for you to have a little bit of time to say why and how.
Well, when I started, we had lost 400,000 jobs in the last 4 years, Haley, and we were $8 billion in the hole, and we had 89 cents in our rainy day fund. And now we are in balance. We have over $500 million in our rainy day fund. And we're up about 112,000 jobs since the administration's come in and worked with the legislature. And the way we did it is basically we got rid of programs that made no sense anymore, because, spends money that's not its own, so they're not always very much on top of things. But we also fix things without regard to the political considerations to make things work better at a lower price. I mean, that's the 21st century. Better products at lower prices. We cut taxes, and then our regulators, you know, they understand job creators. Doesn't mean we give away the store, but it means we work with them, and we're not duplicative and, you know, beat them over the head. And so the fact is that the policies that we're running are really not much different than what Ronald Reagan did when he came in, which is, you know, government that is effective where it needs to be, lower taxes. We killed the death tax, lower the income tax, have regulations that make sense, that are consistent with job creators, but without giving away the store. And, you know, we're doing fine, but we have to keep going. We have a long way to go, but it's working. And what my problem is, I get all these headwinds from Washington because businesses are paralyzed. I mean, they don't know what's going to happen with health care. They don't know what's going to happen with taxes. They don't know what they're going to do with the debt. We got this fiscal cliff, and all this stuff is a mess. So I just wish I could get somebody down there to put the wind at my back.
Hey, Governor,
so we could really help Ohio.
You know, whether it's true or not, the Obama administration is trying to take credit for a lot of what's happening in Ohio because of as a beneficiary of the auto bailout, and that's one of the reasons they're saying that it's got a lower unemployment rate. Is that not true, or do you try to counter that perception?
Well, first of all, I don't worry about countering anything, but the fact is Ohio's been outperforming all these other states. Secondly, when you take a look at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that organization that went from obscurity to becoming very much famous,
infamous,
it says that the number of auto jobs are down 500. So of the 112,000 have been created, we're down 500 auto jobs. That doesn't mean that the auto companies aren't investing in Ohio, because they are. Chrysler's slightly up. But Ford and GM, if you check out their strategy, you know, they're kind of shrinking their footprint. So we're thrilled we have auto jobs in Ohio. We're really happy about it, but it doesn't account for the kind of growth that we've had.
I mean, were you in favor of the bailout?
I wasn't a congressman then. I was just a citizen. I'm glad that these companies are strong.
But, you know, it is interesting, Joe, that they take the administration takes a position, well, we did this, and Ohio's economy is growing because of this, and yet the number of auto jobs in Ohio actually are down.
Right. No, that's why I asked.
All the jobs are outside of auto.
We're definitely hearing
what's happened in Ohio, guys. What's happened in Ohio is we've diversified our economy. We're not just a one-trick pony anymore. We're not just manufacturing. Our greatest growth in the last quarter was IT. And we have strong health care. We do have energy, agriculture, specialty manufacturing, logistics. I mean, we're diversifying Ohio, and it's looking different than people thought about it just a short time ago.
Governor Corbett, what about Pennsylvania? What are the chances that Governor Romney can win Pennsylvania? And go on.
I think his chances here are improving day by day. As John said, after the debate, we saw a tremendous change. The wind is to the governor's back at the moment. The polls are narrowing. Internal polls, he's outperforming a lot of people in a lot of areas that we didn't think we'd see him performing very well. The House and Senate does polling on a regular basis. He's doing well in those areas where he has to do really well. And so I think it's going to be very, very close in Pennsylvania.
Western Pennsylvania are going to do much better because of coal and the opposition of the administration to coal and their energy policy generally. Is that a fair assessment, Tom?
Haley, that's a very fair assessment. He's going to do very well, much better than the past candidate, Mr. McCain, did. But he's also going to do well here in central Pennsylvania, and he's going to do better in the southeast, the counties that surround southeastern Pennsylvania, where 40% of the electorate is. He's doing much better there than Mr. McCain, Senator McCain did in the race 4 years ago. And it's really going to be a turnout model. We believe the boots on the ground is going to make a big difference in this campaign. And the Republican Party, the state Republican Party, and the National Party have been energizing the people, and they are energized. I see it all the time. And we just had Ann Romney, for instance, at Elizabethtown College earlier this week. 900 people packed the hall. We would not have done that 4 years ago. And you don't see the opposition to the Republican candidate this time that you saw 4 years ago. People are ready for that change. They are all looking at the economy, and our economy is taking off.
Haley, one point I'd like to make. Whoever wins this election, those folks in Washington better get their act together. This fiscal cliff, threatens very serious problems for the future. If they do not begin to get their act together, those congresmen, you know, I mean, they've got to get moving on this.
All right,
it
Governor,
will hurt us out across America.
Thank you. Governor Kasich, Governor, I was going to ask you about Brown and Mandel, but we don't have time. Anyway, thanks. Maybe we'll see you again, Governor Kasich. Governor Corbett, thanks for your time.